I'm trying to get my life together, so I've been watching a lot of Maury. Because Maury, one of those shows where you feel like I don't have it together, I ain't doing anything with myself. You watch a little Maury and you're like, I'm not doing that bad. Actually, I'm doing pretty good now that I think about it. It's wild. I don't think Maury gets enough credit. I really don't. Maury is such an ally to the black community. He really is. In all the years he's been on the show, Maury has never fucked up a black name. Think about that shit. Over 20 years on the air, Dontwavius, says it like it's nothing. I'll mess up the name in my head. I'll be like, that's not even a word. That can't be a name. Maury will just sit there unfazed. They'll put the baby on the screen. You know, like, the show been on long enough that now, even in our DNA, we know we shouldn't be on Maury. So even the baby look embarrassed to be on Maury. Like, even the baby, like, it's not my fault. And I'll see the screen below the name, and I'll be like, is that a 2 in that nigga's name? And then Maury, without even missing a beat, will like, when it comes to the case of 6-month-old Twain, I'm like, wow! He said it with his full chest. No ums, no uhs. Wow. That's incredible. I don't know if y'all heard, but Elon and Zuckerberg want to fight. Yeah. That's gonna be the most unathletic fight of all time. That you can rest assured, no knuckles, just slaps. That whole fight. That seemed, the two of them fights seem like the type of fight where somebody gonna scream. You know what I mean? Like you hear the skull. Like they never been bruised before, so they're like, why am I changing colors like this? Is this what poor people go through? This is crazy. This is wild. I don't know. I want to see them fight, but like, I don't want to see them box or wrestle. They should only be able to fight if they use weapons. Like I would watch that. That'd be amazing. Just give them 2 swords and let them cook on each other, you know? Wow. I'd love to see them fight though. Like Zuckerberg looked like if you hit him hard enough, a screw will pop out his mouth. Like, and Elon looked like if you cut that man, it's gonna be nothing but Elmer's glue and marshmallow cream coming out. Those two are the whitest people I've ever seen in my life. Have you seen those two on the beach? It looks illegal. Like, I don't know how to describe. These two are so white, it feels unfair to white people to call them white. Their color should be called colonizer. That's crazy that they're both called white. I don't know. I think that they should fight. I just don't want to see them fight in MMA. I want to see them, yeah, fighting like a little tiny submersible thing. And we'd be like, you gotta go down. If you do it up here, it won't be fair. So, yeah. Have y'all used Threads yet? Okay, a couple woos. All right. I don't know. I don't know how to feel about it. It seems okay. You know what I mean? It seems like what the old internet used to be. You remember that old like AOL text type? That's what it feels like. I just can't wait for Threads to become a dating app. Because that's what happens. Like, men are too horny and nasty not to turn everything into a dating app eventually. Anything with DMs becomes a dating app almost instantaneously. It's crazy. Men will turn Uber Eats into a dating app. We'll be like, we'll get the pizza delivered and be, if she cute, you like, I got a whole pizza if you want to hang out for a little while. Like, dudes turned the phone into a dating app before dating apps. A lot of people don't know about it. So, in March 7th, of 1876, Alexander Graham Bell was given the patent for the telephone. But they don't put it in the history books that on March 8th of 1876 was the first time somebody made a phone call and was like, "What the fuck you wearing, bitch?" What color are those pantaloons? Oh, they're beige? Oh, you little trollop. Yeah, what color? Oh, that's the thing, too. Like, just popped in my head this week. Sometimes you just have memories of when you were little for no reason. I've been thinking about my life and thinking about growing up and stuff, and I just had this thing. From when I was a little kid, I went to the grocery store with my grandma, and this was not a good grocery store. We didn't have it like that, so it was a discount grocery store, and it was pretty bad. Like, it was one of the ones where you go in and the meat is $3, but then when you ask what type of meat it is, the butcher be like, "Why you asking all these questions, dog? Like, just take it or don't take it." And I don't know how to describe it, but there's a weird thing that when you're in a bad situation, but you're used to it, just feels normal, you know? And so I was hanging out with my grandma, we were walking, she was putting stuff in the cart and everything, and then we heard an argument that turned into a fight on the other aisle, right? And it's loud, and they're knocking stuff over off the shelves and stuff, and they're screaming at each other, and one of them's like, "You don't get out my face, I'll shoot you." Yeah, like nothing you want to be a part of. And I saw my grandma turning down to go down that aisle, and I'm 6 years old, but I'm like, "Grandma, do we really need to?" And she like, "I need the bread. They not fighting me, all right?" And the night before I went to the grocery store with my grandma, I was at home, and I was watching TV. And because we didn't have a ton of money growing up, cable was a luxury. And it was a luxury that my mom had to time. Because she wanted to give me what other kids had, but she just knew she couldn't really give it to me all the time. So we had to plan cable. So my mom, we would have it for 3 months, not have it for 6, you know. My mom would sit me down and be like, "All right, so you gonna see the beginning of the season of Friends. But you're gonna have to find out about Ross and Rachel from word of mouth, all right?" And so I remember this night was special because everyone had gone to bed without sending me to bed. So I'm 6 years old, and I'm just up late. Everybody's asleep. I got control of the remote. This is crazy. I'm about to watch whatever comes on late. This is wild. So I was flipping channels and stuff, and in my head, I'm like, if I don't keep it too loud, nobody will even notice. I can watch whatever I want. This is amazing. And when you're little, you're just excited for it to be late because you just never experienced late before. Like I was just running around like 2 a.m., 2 a.m., 2 a.m., 2 a.m., 2 a.m., right? So I remember I was flipping channels and I landed on Night of the Living Dead. And I watched Night of the Living Dead at 6 years old, which is far too young for me because I don't even know about real life yet. So I don't know if this stuff can happen or not. Side note, I found out years later, back in the day when they were making horror movies, like the early horror movies, their prosthetics weren't that good. So if you got hired to be a zombie, you were just ugly. Like that's... There's a little history tidbit for you. Anyway, I'm watching it, and it's terrifying. This is crazy. I was like, this is a bad idea. I can see why they sent me to bed. Nothing good happens at 3 a.m. This is crazy. So I went to bed, and then, you know, next day, wake up, go with my grandma to the grocery store, and as she's about to turn the aisle, we hear like a scream and a big, loud thud, and then silence. And I was like, "Grandma, are you sure that we want to turn this corner?" Because he said, "I'm going to shoot anybody in my face, and if we turn the corner, we're going to be in his face." Well, if he misses the person he aiming at, you know. He's like, "Boy, come on." And so then what we would find out later, what was actually happening, was there was a fight between two dudes in wheelchairs. That's why it was such a ruckus and everything was getting knocked over, because they get knocked over, they got to roll back up. Punch. And so the thud that we heard was the finishing move from the first guy, because what he did, they had been scuffling and knocking stuff over with their chairs and everything, and then finally he just grabbed that dude by the collar and threw him out his chair. And so when we turn the corner, all we see is just a bunch of bread and rice on the ground. That dude done rolled off already. And so the only thing that I see coming at me is a dude with no legs crawling like this. So I'm like, my grandmama grabbed me and pulled me to the other aisle. She was like, boy, what is wrong with you? That is an amputee. You need to have some damn compassion. And I told her, I was like, Grandma, I don't know what an amputee is, but that nigga is a zombie, all right? Terrible. Do y'all ever worry? That's the whole question. Like, my man, what do you worry about? Nothing really? You don't worry about any... Damn, that's the whitest answer I've ever heard in my life. That's crazy. That's why... Ooh, you got... Oh, she worries a lot. So she probably worried because you don't worry. She probably like... This stupid motherfucker doesn't worry about shit. She probably, like... Well, what do you worry about since you're the one with sense in the family? Just everything? Yeah, okay. Wow. Y'all are a great fit for each other. I'm glad that y'all found a real yin-yang situation. Nothing. I don't worry about it. But why would you even admit that to somebody? That sounds like the whole crowd should jump you. It sounds like you got it like that. That's crazy. What about you? What do you worry about?
Family.
You worry about family? Yeah, I worry about family too. It's fair. Do you have a particular family member you worry about, or you just worry about in general everybody being...
Their well-being.
Their well-being? Okay.
I live far away from them.
Oh, you live far, so you worry about. That's, what a sweet answer. Y'all are, jeez. Really pulling blood from a stone here. This is crazy. What do you worry about? Nothing. What do you worry about? Just all of us, really. Just that they'll wake up happy and healthy. I worry, I'm just like you though. I worry about family. I worry about my cousin because he an idiot. He is. My cousin is wild. So my cousin joined a cult, right? I know, which is a big deal for that cult because they don't get a lot of us. You know what I mean? Like they were so excited to have a black friend. That was crazy. They were like, and I remember somebody told me to join the cult, and so I went ahead and looked it up, you know, because I'm worried about my cousin. I want him to be all right. I look it up, and I could tell he was in danger because the website was trash. It was like, I was like, Comic Sans, he is in danger, all right? This is terrible. They really crazy out here. That's wild. Broken link 404 not found. Oh, Lord. They might already did it. Okay. And so, basically, I went ahead and was talking to him. In my mind, the best thing to do was just go ahead and go to one of his meetings with him. Because the thing that cults do is that they create a shared language and a shared experience that no one outside the cult can actually understand or participate in unless they're in it. So then when you tell your friends and family about it, they look at you skeptical. They just don't understand because they weren't there, right? But if they come there with you, like if I show up with him and hear the dude preaching and just turn to him like, nigga, like, that might break it. And so I went there, and it was this weird house and everything. And I sat down. and including me in the room, the whole cult congregation was 4 people. And I was like, this is not a cult at all. Y'all just 2 idiots doing a guy favors. This is not, your cult can't even move a pool table. What are you doing? You done wasted my whole Saturday. You just call me when you in some real danger. All right, y'all were great. Thank you so much.
Hey friends, I have some great news for you. So this week, I'm going to be hosting The Daily Show for the very first time. I'm hosting tonight, tomorrow, and Thursday. And this show has meant a lot to me for a long time. I started there as a writer in 2017, and I've loved it ever since. I've loved the people, I've loved the process, and for the first time, I get to sit behind the desk. And if you've ever wondered what the show would look like through my lens, well, this is your chance to watch it. And I just want to say thank you, because this is in no small part because of you, because of this community, because of everything that we're doing on this channel is a lot of what led to this opportunity. And so I appreciate you very, very much. And if you are inclined, if you're in the area, go ahead and watch Comedy Central live or on the Paramount Plus app. There will also be YouTube videos of clips of it dropping as well. But thank you so much. I hope you enjoy seeing me host. I have some amazing guests, and I'm excited to bring the show to you in the best way that I can. And I hope you enjoy the video this week. Bye.
Please make it loud for Josh Johnson!
Okay. All right. Look. Okay. So we are in week 2 of there like kind of being files but no files, but like there's kind of like we don't know, but he doesn't know, but he knows, but he doesn't remember, but he wasn't there, but even if he was there, it's not what you think. But like it's a lot going on, right? And so with everything that fell out with Trump last week, now you have people being like, release the Epstein files, release the Epstein files, release the Epstein files, right? And in prison is Ghislaine Maxwell. Now, in case you're not familiar with Ghislaine Maxwell, like one of the central people to this case, she trafficked for Jeffrey Epstein, right? And she is still alive somehow, and in prison, okay? Yeah, so she's still alive in prison, right? And she actually got 20 years for her part in this trafficking. And so now with Trump calling Epstein a hoax, there's been a lot of, how do I put this? There's been a lot of unintelligible takes on if he's saying the entire thing is a hoax or just his involvement is a hoax, or no one can really tell. There's not a lot of like centered messaging on what is supposed to be the narrative here. And because of that, now you got Ghislaine and her lawyers from prison being like, oh, well, if it's a hoax, no, I'm just saying if like nobody got trafficked to anybody, then I'd like to appeal, right? And then there's people that are like, the client list, we need the client list, we need the little black book, we need the client list, why won't they release things? And then you even had Democrats saying in the House, like, we want to release the files, and they put it to a vote, and Republicans voted to block that release. And they voted to block that release, they said, because, oh, it was part of another bill and it would have passed a bunch of stuff we don't want to pass. So then a bipartisan group went out and they were like, now we should vote on this, and it's Epstein stuff only, right? So everyone's like, release the files, right? And then Ghislaine is like, I got the files. I got them in my head. Like, I'll tell you right now, which is such a crazy thing to me to watch. If you've been watching this whole thing take place, Ghislaine got arrested in like 2020. I think she got sentenced in like 2022. And she's been in jail this whole time. Why is she just now saying, I got the lip? It feels like when your boy who like really thought he was gangster finally goes to jail and gets like the first roach in his sandwich, and he's like, I'll tell anything you need me to know, like anybody, if you have any questions, I will answer follow-up questions, just please get me out of here. I think there's rats in the cheese, please. And so you had Trump really stressing this week, stressing hard, going back and forth with people. This man's getting more comfortable cursing out loud and on text. Like, he's crazy. Just like decorum's fully out the window. Like, there wasn't much of it to begin with, but now he's just like, And this is the other thing that trips me up, is that they're throwing everything they can in front of this like Epstein monster, like Pac-Man, right? Let's just throw this while we run away. And they never admit that Trump isn't doing well in any way, ever. And then they came out saying he had chronic venous, I don't really know what that third word is, I'm not gonna lie to you. But basically he got chronic veins or something. I don't know if that means he got extra, or I don't know what it is, but it's affecting, his health a little bit, and his hand looks like he got an ace bandage on it, but like that's his skin, right? And so I saw that and I was like, wow, they must really want this thing to go. Talk about anything else, please. And then just today, Tulsi Gabbard released these Obama Russia files. You know, the files everybody's talking about. You know, the files that just last week were like, when they gonna release those Obama Russia files? Why can't they get the Obama? What is Obama hiding? All right? We want his Russia files. You know, we've been hungry, thirsty for some Obama Russian files. Ooh, I can't wait to it. I can taste them. Let me get those Obama Russia files. That's so bad. That's so bad. It means you have nothing. You truly have nothing to throw in the way of this thing, because Obama Russia file, you won. You won in 2016, you won in 2024. I haven't read the Obama Russia files, admittedly. I haven't read them yet. But I have a spoiler alert for you. Trump came out on top. And he over here stressing when he could have just done nothing. Eventually, he's in the White House, he's asked about it, and he's like, look, if Pam Bondi finds anything credible, she can release it. That's all he had to say the whole time. He could have avoided this entire thing if he had just said that, look, if the AG finds something credible, she can release it. And then people really don't have much to say, because it's like, that's what they want. He says you're gonna get it. I don't know if that's true, but like, that's all you have to do. Keep your calm, play it cool. Instead, he was like, why would you, And it's because he felt caught. And the only people who within this week have been as caught as Trump and reacted as badly was that couple at the Coldplay concert. I thought I was shocked when I saw like Trump's Epstein Files tweets, right? This thing, the clip is about 14 seconds. I've been watching it for 20 hours. Okay, all right. In case you haven't seen this, it's a Coldplay concert, right? Coldplaying. Coldplay doing their thing, all right? Being colds. Coldplaying particularly hard that night. And they did this thing that's becoming more popular at big concerts, because Coldplay doing like a stadium. And there's a thing that you can do at a public event, like an entertainment event, whether it's sports, whether it's music, whatever, where you can put out a cam into the audience. And I don't know how to describe it, but when you do that, it does make the entire thing, as big as it is, feel more intimate. Because now you're over here enjoying Coldplay, and you see the other people there enjoying Coldplay, and they're just like you. And they're just as excited to be on the screen as you would be to be on the screen. And they're having such a good time, you know? And so you're like, this is amazing. We're all here together enjoying this thing. I genuinely like those cams because it reminds us that we're all doing the same thing, having a good time, you know? And if we're all doing the same thing, having a good time, maybe we're more alike than we think. If we're more alike than we think, then maybe when we leave the basketball game, when we leave the show, whatever, we have less reason to argue. We have less reason to look at each other as like just completely different entities. It's like, you're just like me. You like Coldplay. You know, and I'm not you know, a big enough act to do like a stadium or anything like that. I don't really have screens at my shows and stuff. But I heard that the CEO of the largest tech firm in Louisville was here tonight, and so I brought a cam out tonight. If you want to. No, I'm joking. I'm joking. I can't afford that at all. No, but if you didn't see the clip, is basically Coldplay throwing people up on the cam and having little interactions, or like playing a little something just for them, or just commenting on how sweet people look. And they're going, people, and then they go to this couple. It's not just any couple. They go to a couple holding each other Titanic style. And to be fair to her, she didn't have the arms out like Rose. She was holding his arms. And then Chris Martin is like, look at this couple. And I don't know, okay. This is where I wish I knew more about like technology and the brain and stuff like that. Because the same way that there is latency on the internet, and there's a delay on a call where sometimes you can hear yourself in someone else's side of the phone call, and you can hear how you spoke, but there's a delay. It's like a second later you hear your own voice, what you just said as you're speaking. So it takes a second. And I don't know, because I've never been in a situation where I've been on a big camera like that, the amount of time it takes your brain to register that that's you that you're looking at. Because they're over here, Titanic style. If you've ever seen the film Titanic, and if you're a 90s baby, you know that when Titanic came out initially, home release, it was on VHS. And it's such a long movie, it's such an epic, that there were 2 VHS tapes. If you're young and you don't know what a VHS is, don't tell anybody that. Keep that to yourself and Google it, all right? It makes people feel bad when we have to explain that we used to have to basically bring a projector home inside a hard casing and then put it in a VCR. If you don't know what a VCR is, that's some other letters you don't need to worry about, okay? You're never gonna come in contact with them in your life, but you would put the VHS into the VCR, you would hit play. You understand play, right? You're not too young for play. You would hit play and it would play the thing like it does on demand, but we didn't have on demand yet. Netflix wasn't born yet. We didn't know what streaming was. And Titanic came out and it was such a long movie. I hadn't seen this 2 VHSs. I hadn't seen that since Charlton Heston's 10 Commandments. If you're too young to know what Charlton Heston's 10 Commandments are, it is also a film, but that film is almost as old as the people the film is about, all right? That movie is about Moses, who probably had a VCR, really, like when you think about how long ago Moses was and when we used VCRs. But Titanic came home with you, it had 2 VHS tapes. And you watch the first VHS tape of Titanic, and it plays till about half the movie. And then it tells you to enter tape 2. Tape 2, which will be far more depressing. If you were like me and you shopped at a lot of like thrift stores, sometimes when you go to a thrift store, you don't get to get the thing the way it was intended when it was sold. You might go to a thrift store and buy Titanic and think you got all the Titanic in one VHS tape. And then bring Titanic home and watch Titanic, but you only watch tape 1. And so you don't even know that there's a tape 2 until the end of the VHS where it says insert tape 2, and you don't have it. So you're like, all right, I'm just gonna have to settle with what I got, which was a very sweet story about 2 people who met on an epic adventure. I think I'm willing to leave it there. And it's not until years later you find out the horror that is Titanic Part 2. Part 2 where everything going awry. And all I can say is the first 2 seconds that this couple was on the kiss cam looked a lot like Titanic VHS tape 1. And then when they realize that they are the camera, it looks a whole like Titanic VHS tape 2. Honestly, they look like they on the Titanic. When about tape 2 takes place, And so you see them. And this is where things went wrong. Because rather than just playing it cool, than just, chilling, the woman immediately covers her face and whips around. Okay. All right. Look. Look. Don't judge, okay? When I was a kid, there were kids in my neighborhood who went a totally different direction than I did, right? And sometimes I'd hear about them, and you especially hear about them if you stop seeing them around. And I quickly got used to the idea that if I hadn't seen somebody a long time, they probably didn't just move away. They may have been locked up. Something may have happened to them, right? And there was a kid who was nice enough a few blocks down. Sometimes I would walk to work in the morning, and it was a long walk. And I would pass his house, and sometimes he'd be out front of his house with people. I'd say hi, they'd say hi. We weren't like close or anything. And one day when I was back home from college, I went to this hookah lounge with my friends. And at the hookah lounge were the guys who I used to pass by when I was in high school, working that job, running every day to work. And I asked them where, the fourth was, the dude that was usually with them. And they were like, oh, yeah, no, he doing a little time. And I was like, what happened? And they were like, well, he ran up in this store to rob it. And, he had he was pretending to have a gun and everything. And not only did he not have a gun, the store clerk wasn't scared of him. And so he's over here doing one of these. Let's talk about this real quick. Because I've known people who have had people run up on them and they didn't see the gun, but they were sure they had a gun because of the way they moved with it, right? A little bit of weight to it. Maybe it was tucked. Maybe it was in the pocket. But there was just a slight motion that they had. There was just a way that they were behaving where if they didn't have a gun, this is some great acting. But this man, he ran up into the store. Give me everything. Do it now. I'm not messing around. I would hate for this to go off. And so the store clerk kept his cool, and he was like, no. He's like, what do you mean? I am armed, ready to kill. Oh, you don't think I'll do it? I'm crazy. And the store clerk, apparently, according to their story, told me, I don't think you'll do anything because... And he points up, and he looked up at the corner, and he was on camera without a mask. And so apparently he went, and walked out the store. I understand the immediate reaction to want to cover your face when you realize you're on camera. But don't do it with your fake gun hand. But he got arrested from rolling up in there and even the attempt and everything. And so he did a little time in jail. And I'm just saying, you're on the kiss cam and immediately something seems awry when you go, oh! And that by itself wouldn't have actually been that bad. No, I'll tell you right now, this is what I firmly believe. I truly believe this from the bottom of my heart. I think that obviously, there's something up when you see yourself on the cam and go, oh, and then you turn around. But, like Chris Martin said, later in the video, maybe shy. Maybe you're shy. And if only one of them had reacted badly, if only one of them had reacted badly, they might not be in this situation. But she went, oh! And then the man just starts to sink. Where did he go? No, for real, where did this dude go? This man didn't just duck under what he thought the camera could cover. This man got caught. She turned around and he went, ooh, But like, where did he go? Like, truly, where was he? He never comes back. Did he open a portal? He might have been in an abyss. This was one of the crazy, because then he's gone and then she's just standing there. And in my head, I'm like, I don't know where their seats are, but it seems like he jumped. I was crying. This man went under everyone, I suppose. Fully disappeared. And then Chris Martin went, either that couple is really shy or they're having an affair. And the internet said, or? No, that's an affair, dog. Tried to be gracious just in case, but no. That was wild, and then we didn't know it yet. But there was another woman off to the side that presumably knows everything that's happening with them. And wow, people find out quick. The internet works quick. Internet was like, I got all night. I'm not at the Coldplay concert. And within hours, people found this dude's name, where he worked. They found her. They found out that they weren't married to each other. This man married, and then, you know, the internet did a thing where, look. I do think it's important that people know the truth about what's happening in their lives. And I can only hope, like genuinely hope, that the people that reached out to that dude's wife did it with at least some tact. But a lot of people reached out to her, commented, "This is where your husband's at. He's at the Coldplay concert." The Coldplay concert, from my research, isn't even that far from where you live because I already went ahead and doxed him. I just want you to know. And so then people looked him up, and then they looked her up, and early into people looking her up, she had changed her last name on social, apparently. Knocked his name off. And then it looks like she deleted or made private her socials altogether, which I completely understand. And then people started looking into him. And this is the thing about treating people badly. As soon as something blows up like this, anything you ever did comes out. This dude cheating on his wife, and then other people were giving their little testimonies. "Oh, I worked with him. He's actually terrible. He makes toxic work environments. He's incredibly abusive to his employees," saying all this stuff, right? And I don't know if these people actually work with him or not. It's so hard to tell what about this is real versus like people just trying to get in versus people trying to be part of it and stuff. And then I had a moment, genuinely, I had a moment where I was like, what if? Let's entertain for a second. What if this isn't real? I genuinely thought, because some of the kiss cam stunts, some of the things they do at sports games are like completely fake. They'll be like a fake proposal just to like make everybody laugh and maybe go viral, and maybe they'll sell some more like Bruins tickets. And then I even thought to myself, okay, you don't really see this happen in music, so maybe, what if this was Coldplay? What if Coldplay was like, look, this is what we gonna do, all right? We're gonna get the cam up, we're gonna show a bunch of people, we're gonna get it on one couple. They're gonna freak out, Jerry Springer style, all right? One of them gonna duck, he's never gonna come back. He disappears for life. She stands there. The lady next to her, who is supposedly her friend, laughs at their lives crumbling in front of her. It'll go viral. Everybody will be talking about the Coldplay concert. Everybody will be talking about what song we played right before it happened. Genuinely, you have to entertain a lot of things when you're trying to sift through if something's real or not. You have to be skeptical of everything. And I thought about it, and then I saw how Chris Martin moved on after that. And then I saw a wide shot, and I saw that the stadium looked sold out. So I was like, actually, it looks like Coldplay is doing fine. That theory is in the dirt. This looks very real. And then I thought about the company. Andy, his name is Andy. Andy works at a company called Astronomer. I had never heard of Astronomer. I don't think anybody was talking about Astronomer 2 days ago. So then for a second I was like, what if? Astronomer, a tech company, hire Coldplay to do a stadium show. Coldplay does the stadium show. They have all their fans there. The fans don't know that Coldplay's getting a little bit of money on the side for what's about to happen. And then they throw the camera on the CEO. They throw the camera on the CEO and another employee. And then they create this whole scandal. Now, all of a sudden, everybody's talking about Astronomer. What is Astronomer? Oh, it's an AI company. What do? Oh, they help manage workflow. These are conversations nobody was having 2 days ago. The assumption when you're in the news, when there's a scandal with your CEO, is that your stock price could drop. I don't know if they're a public company, but if the stock price is dropping, seems like a good time to buy. Maybe that's when they buy back their own stock. And then as soon as I was sitting in my room thinking all this, I was like, I think I've been too deep in this Epstein thing. Like, I think that, like, maybe I have a problem. And I just, like, it's, like, really changing how my brain works. And then there's the fallout of, like, this dude, not only is he caught cheating in front of thousands of people, in front of the internet, but also we find out he's a CEO. We're not gonna find much grace there. People aren't really fans of CEOs right now. And then on top of being a CEO, he's a billionaire. You basically made a Venn diagram of the three people that people hate the most. And it's a circle with your name in it. Because it is a terrible thing. A terrible thing that happened. And I just think about how that's something that happens like now. You know? Our grandparents, our great-great-parents would have never got caught. No, people's grandparents had whole extra families. And as long as you were willing to be a gentleman about it and really take care of both families, they never met. You know, you went on your family vacation with one family beginning of the summer, family vacation with a second family at the end of the summer, because there used to just be more affordability in the U.S. A lot of people talk about how back in my day, I could buy a house right out of college. And it's like, yes, and afford an extra family. Don't forget that. I've talked about this before. I've known people growing up who had like that thing happen, where the granddad, they have like cousins and like half brothers and sisters because of what the granddad did back in the day. And he was doing that on a job that doesn't even exist anymore. That's how much things have changed. This man had 2 whole families as a traveling fork salesman. This man would just go up to people's doors and be like, look, eventually in your life you will come across some spaghetti. And when that happens, you'll want to be, he sounded like life insurance, you're going to want to be ready when that spaghetti is in front of you, all right? You don't want to be sitting here like a fool with a knife and a spoon. You want to be ready with that spaghetti, all right? And how you get ready? My forks. I got the best forks. My forks can do anything. I got fine dining forks. I got regular forks. I got the nickel forks. You know those forks made of nickel that's... They'll never rust because they're always kind of rusty. If you need forks, I can get it right, all right? Got all types of forks. I got the 4-prong, I got the 3-prong, I got the, he bad at counting. And then people let him in. He's like, looking at this, what was it, two bedroom? Two-bedroom house? How many kids you got? Oh, you got 3 kids in a 2-bedroom house? You're gonna need at least 16 forks. Made his living selling forks. One day, somebody opened the door for this man and he's immediately smitten. Oh, hello. She's like, yes, how can I help you? He's like, oh, I was trying to, I had a briefcase where I was trying to like fork you, you know, like I just want to. Oh, it's not, no. I'm trying to give you forks. I mean, I'm trying to sell you forks. I sell forks. I sell forks. My name is John. And then she lets him in. And they get to talking about forks. And then about other things. And he doesn't tell her he's got a wife at home. And they start an affair. An affair where maybe she knows about the wife, maybe she doesn't. But then things grow. They feel like they're in love. They're like, let's get married. He marries her. Now he's got 2 fork families to support. Now he's got to sell forks harder than ever. He's got to go to as many doors as possible because the kids need braces. All of them. No, just he sells as many forks as he can, and then one day, one fateful day, sadly, a Sears opens. He's out of business immediately. If you're young and you don't know what Sears is, it was like a department/everything store where basically it was like Amazon, but you had to go. There was no click. You had to leave the house to go to Amazon, and then you had to go put everything in your cart yourself, and then you had to buy it yourself. It was like working at the factory at Amazon, except you just grabbed what you needed and you left. But then one day Sears opens, he realizes he's ruined. What else is he gonna do? He's only good at selling forks. And so he has to sit his family down. Be like, look, I'll be right back, I'm going to get cigarettes. And then he goes to his other home, his other family, and he's like, sit down, y'all. I have something to tell you, it's important. I have to go get cigarettes. And then he would go off and he'd have his own life, and he would die with a lot of life insurance, and then the 2 families wouldn't meet each other until it was time to collect. And that was the gentlemanly way to cheat in the 30s. All right? Because a CEO of a company dating, openly cheating with, I didn't know this was a real title, with the CPO, which CPO, I found out today, stands for Chief People Officer, which sounds like the most made-up job I've ever heard in my entire life. That job sounds very fake. Chief People Officer sounds like what you say at Thanksgiving when you go home unemployed, knowing that your brother is a doctor and your sister's a lawyer. I'm the Chief People Officer. Oh, and I'm Master of Business. That is crazy. I know it's a real job, I know it's a real title and everything, but just, you could have named it something else. To say that you're in the C-suite, just Chief People Officer, really sounds like it was not on anyone's mind before the name came out of their mouth. It's like, we have to give her a title. What's the title? She's head of HR. No, she was already head of HR. She got promoted. What is she over again? HR and personnel and hiring. It's like, okay, Chief People Officer? I don't know. No, it was crazy. And now it just recolors everything with that company. Now they're probably having an investigation right now. You know? makes you take a second look at everything that happened between them, like performance reviews. Apparently, in one of the performance reviews, the CEO said that the CPO, this is what I read, this might not be right, because everybody talking. But apparently the CEO said the CPO had deeply extensive and impressive knowledge. And that's nasty. I know what he's trying to say. No. That is inappropriate, if anything. I hope they take you down just for that. That's unacceptable. You know? You shouldn't do things that you know are wrong. And I think when you get caught, it's also important to know you're caught and to handle it as best as possible. And I think that as far as that kiss cam couple goes, the only way they could have handled that thing worse was if they had held up signs that said there are no Epstein files. Like,
Little Rock, Arkansas, please make some noise for Josh Johnson!
I don't know if y'all heard, and I am not an expert. I'm still learning facts about what happened as it's happening, okay? But this whole like Signal group chat thing is one of the... It's truly one of the more insane stories I've seen in a while. Because look, let's be clear with one another, okay? I can only pass so much judgment because I'm not good with two things: phones and secrets. Don't tell me a secret. Don't. You know, I try to be a good friend, and sometimes being a good friend comes with people trusting you with their secrets, and I wish they wouldn't. I really wish they wouldn't, because as an example, I have a friend who she went to Barbados, and I don't think she was drinking or anything, but they drive on the other side of the road and stuff, and she came back from that trip. I try to be a good friend. I asked her how her day's going. I asked her what her trip was like, just inquiring about her life, trying to make a memory together. Oh, it wasn't so funny when I told you that story about ha ha ha, right? And so sure enough, I asked her how was the trip, and she looking shell shocked. She like, I'm like, hey, you okay? What happened? And she was like, I was driving at night. I forgot which side of the road I was supposed to be on. I just felt a thump, and then I didn't know what to do, so I just kept driving. And now I just know that. Even if I wanted to turn her in, I don't know who to call or anything. I'm like, hey, anybody hit recently? By a woman driving on the wrong side of the road? And not only do I not know what to do with that, because I was trying to be a good friend, I was trying to listen, right? That was a mistake. Not only do I just know that now, but I just told all of you. Like, don't trust me with a secret. I'm also not great with phones. I'm really not. It's embarrassing. I have Gen Z friends who look at me like I'm super old because I don't know what anything is. And then it doesn't help that anytime they helping me download a new app or get on a new game or something, I don't know what happens to you. I used to judge people that were older than me so hard, but I don't know what happens to you when a young person is showing you something and you just can't seem to keep your mouth closed. They showing me how to do it, and I'm like, uh-huh. I'm not old enough for tongue yet, but that's coming, you know? I used to show my granddad stuff. He'd be like, oh. Ain't no way. And so they're showing me how to use stuff on my own phone. I can't keep my mouth closed, so I know I'm not good with phones. Okay? I be handling my phone. You'd be ashamed of me. You saw me on a day with my phone, flashlight on half the time. Out here struggling, wondering why the battery died. They don't make them like they used to. They don't make them at all like these. I also talk about how they used to make phones. That's how I know I'm also getting older. I remember other phones. They don't make them like they used. That battery used to last through the full week. Meanwhile, I'm spotlighting my feet. Look like my feet are on patrol. No, it's insane. And so they're showing me stuff with the phone. I'll be honest with you, I didn't know what Signal was. When I saw the story break and I saw that all of these higher-ups, all these people who are supposed to be handling sensitive information at all times, classified information at all times, were using Signal. They were using the Signal app. In my head, this is how bad it is. In my head, I was like, well, didn't the government isn't that the government app? Like, weren't they just using the government app? And then someone explained to me that Signal is just like American WhatsApp. And I was like, oh, that is bad. That is bad. I'm all for modernization, too. I'm all for keeping things as modern as possible and learning new stuff. I love when these Gen Z kids are, yeah, that is a loud one. I was trying to, I didn't know what would be ruder, you know what I mean? Like, because I almost said bless you, but then I was like gonna call attention to it, but y'all are like too polite. That is crazy. I was gonna try to talk a little louder, gloss over it and everything, but y'all really at home together. I think that's beautiful that y'all could be like in the mezzanine, bless you! Yeah. No, I genuinely, when they're showing me stuff, I really appreciate it. I enjoy learning new things and everything. Sometimes I'm intimidated by how much I don't know about a program, but baby steps, you learn stuff. And when I heard that they were doing all this stuff on Signal, I was like, maybe that's too modern. Whatever happened to a phone call? Jeremy, in the movies, aren't they always on the phone doing this? Where they're like, yeah, strike. Like that. You get taken less seriously as a country when you over here calling bomb strikes with emojis. Do you know what I mean? When they make the movie of America Now and you're in it, you don't want to be in it going, bloop, 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 bloop. Because everybody old, so they got the phone on loud, and so it's all the, you know, because you keep it on loud when you type in when you old and everything. I do, anyway. Like, yeah. You know what I mean? Way less badass than like, yes, okay. 1,600 hours, all right. All right. Mission go. Like that's at least in that Top Gun Maverick world. Imagine, when I saw Top Gun Maverick, I was like, I get it now. I get it. A part of me was like, I get it. And Top Gun Maverick did a great job of like not saying which country they were killing people from or anything exactly. You know it's kind of Russian, but is it really? And then sure enough, John Hamm standing there. That last sequence. They're about to fly off that mission. You worried about Tom Cruise and everything. It's like, hey, these kids are his responsibility, you know? You worried about Rooster? Is he gonna rise to the occasion, you know? He gonna feel his daddy's footsteps? And then John Hamm standing there, arms crossed, and he just goes, send them. That is wild. Imagine if that movie was just John Hamm being like, tick, 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 tick. Bloop. Bloop, bloop. I'm sorry, I'm getting a call real quick. Oh, they got away. And so there's all the talk around it as well. It's so hard to understand any story that comes out now because the spin is as fast as we disseminate the information. You know? So as soon as we were even hearing about this, there were people that were like, actually, they leaked that on purpose. They added this journalist to the group chat on purpose so that they could look like such a cohesive administration, and then he would leak it, and then they'd be like, yeah, we all friends. Because if you're not familiar with what happened, there was a strike that was being planned in Yemen, right? And there's a journalist that accidentally got added to the group chat, and the people in the group chat are like J.D. Vance and some heads of like intelligence and Pete Hegseth and stuff like that. And no one at first was really owning up to who added him. We later find out that I'm pretty sure Walls added him, and it this journalist didn't even think that it was real. It was so dumb. When it happened, this dude, you know, I'm assuming, because he's also a bit older. No. And he said he didn't know it was real until they actually bombed Yemen. And then he, you know, comes forward with it, hey, they sent me these plans. He had already left the group as well. When he realized, yeah, I mean, you're not supposed to be in the room. In the room like, oh. Let me go ahead and notify the right people. Because I've been added to a group chat before that wasn't supposed to be, and it happens, you know? You just type in these random numbers, add people to the chat. One time, I was chilling on a Saturday. Because I'm also. Open it up, and it's just like 6 numbers and just one text. So they clearly just started it. And it says, you coming? I could have been a good person. I could have let them know, hey, everybody, wrong person in here. I don't recognize any of these numbers. I don't think y'all know me, but have a blessed day. But I didn't do that. That day, evil did win. And so, you know, you coming, we're waiting on you, right? And so I was like, trying to make up my mind. And then they text back in all caps, what, with exclamation point and a question mark and exclamation point, what? And I was like, yeah, I'm not sure about it. I don't know if I feel like it today. And they were like, we are all waiting on you. We're all waiting on you right now, right? And I was like, yeah, okay, let me get things together. And sure enough, I was watching TV and I forgot that I was doing this, so some time did pass. And finally I got another text. I was like, hello, all caps, question mark, question mark, question mark. So they mad. And I was like, oh, sorry, traffic. And they text back, traffic with a question mark. I'm like, yeah, it's crazy out here. And then they text back, aren't you upstairs? And admittedly, that was too big of a swing to take, you know? So I was like, oh, yeah, you know, I meant traffic, like, in my mind. Like, I'm just... There's just too much going on right now. And they were like, come down here now, right? And then I text back, what if I don't feel like it? And then they text me, we've been waiting on you, only you, this entire time, and the wedding is in an hour and a half. And so I text back, I don't love him, right? And I see bubbles, right? I see the 3 bubbles going. That bubble is furious. It's disappearing a little bit of whoop, and then like coming right back. So in my head, they cursing me out, right? And then it finally comes through, and it's just 3 letters. It's, who? And I was like, okay, thank goodness. That was too big of a swing to take. I'm glad that I'm not the bride. And I still don't know who I am in the group. And so now I'm like, hey, because now I'm curious. Now I'm more curious than I am worried about being caught. And genuinely, I was like, why didn't they just, like, if we in the same house, why didn't they just yell? Like, why didn't they? Do you have me? Like, most families would just be like, come on down. Why are you texting? So then I text, don't even respond to the who. I just text, how big is our house? Because to me, this must be the Home Alone house. If they are texting me, and I've been upstairs this entire time, and they waiting this long, it must be such a big house, no one can be bothered to walk up. And they text back, how big is our house, with a question mark? I'm like, yeah, how big is it? And then they text, are you not at your apartment? I was like, okay, downstairs does make sense now. It makes sense why they wouldn't come up. Okay, I get you. Everybody is on point except for me. I understand now. And so then I text back, look, yeah, I've thought about it, I've thought it over, and I just don't feel like coming, right? Quickly text back, is your sister's wedding and you will support her. And I text back, nah, dog, right? And I knew I messed up because they tried to call me, right? Finally, I had to be like, okay, look, I'm not your relative with a question mark. I'm just like a random guy. I was just joking. But yeah, you should probably text whoever you think you're texting because they were very late. And I just see bubbles, 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 gone, bubbles, bubble, gone, bubbles, bubbles, gone, 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 bubbles, bubbles, bubble, gone. And I know I'm getting cussed out. Like it's bubbles, bubbles, gone, bubbles, gone. And then finally the message comes through and it says, I don't have time to deal with you today. But please believe when I have the time, I will be addressing you thoroughly. I've never heard a threat like that before. Thoroughly. And so I text back, you text me. So, when it comes to the Signal chat, I'm just glad it didn't happen to me. Because I would have made things infinitely worse. They would have been like, we're go for strike in Yemen. I'm like, hey, 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 hey. Y'all ever ate there though? Like, some good spots. Why don't we just let the plane take a day off? Like, chill, 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 chill. They'd be like, who is this? And I'd be like, y'all text me, all right? Asking me who this is. That's like one of the top 5 Southern pet peeves is like calling the wrong number and you called the wrong number and then you're like, who is this? And they're like, you called me. Explain yourself. Who are you? You the one in my house right now with your voice. You're the intruder. Explain yourself. And so, you know, there's this whole thing. We still don't even know the half of it of what's been going on with Signal because we also don't know how long they've been using Signal. We don't know why they weren't using more secure methods. And then through, I'm pretty sure, a German publication, they find that some of the top brass of the government are being like so unserious with their data that they were able to deliver messages just from personal emails, old emails, and I don't know, man, this is pretty bad. You know what I mean? I didn't recognize how bad it was, and I think a lot of the general public don't really feel like it was that bad because people say it's a successful mission. That's why some people think the leak was on purpose because it's like all they did was leak a successful mission. And it's like, morality aside of what a successful mission means for a country that, I don't know, like, has anybody checked? Are we at war with Yemen? I don't know. mission success. It's like, but you bombed. Why? You didn't even explain why. I feel like no one's even asking why. They're just like, man, did you see that they text the wrong number? And so you have these people appearing before Congress getting grilled by Democrats, which just doesn't really mean much, if we're being honest. It's like, getting grilled by Democrats is like getting grilled by a step-parent. It's like, you're not my real... But what are you gonna do, though? What are you gonna do about it? It's like the first time you get big enough to really step to your dad, and you know you should do it, but you're like, what you gonna do, though? I'll show you how to use your phone, old man. I'm training you now. We the same height. No, it's truly devastating. It's bad because... Never mind the fact that there are so many leaks, so many breaches, so much hacking going on, but there are still, like, you know, potentially entities from other countries that have infiltrated through other hacks that we forgot about because we get hacked so much we don't really care. I knew a dude when I was growing up that had his house robbed so much he moved and didn't tell anybody, but left some of the stuff so they would only rob that place. Bit by bit, consistently. And it feels like that's what we do with our data. We're like, they're gonna get it. Let's just parcel it out. You know? And so you see these officials appear before Congress, and people all of a sudden are getting a very abstract interpretation of what war plans are. Because they're being asked point blank by journalists, like, were those war plans? And they were like, For a group that I'm telling you, I'm positive despises poetry majors. I know for a fact you hate liberal arts, but when they asked you to your face that they were war plans, it's like, what is truly? What is truly an outline of actions, if not enacted upon? Be fit for me? To speak truly of what war is. Does war not start in the soul? War as a concept is all around us. Love is war. Pain is war. Life is truly war. Yeah, but the text message where they said the date and the time and where the pilot was gonna be are those war plans. What does it mean to have a plan, you know? As Mike Tyson once said, everyone has a plan until they get punched in the face. As the old Southern proverb goes, if you want to make God laugh, tell him your plans. Got asked in front of Congress point blank. This was a huge mistake, right? I'm pretty sure it was Walls, maybe it was somebody else, but he was like, no. All right, bro. Okay, do you? Oh. Because I wish I knew enough about how intelligence works, and I wish that I knew enough about how strikes work to explain fully how bad this is. But I think we know. I think we as a society kind of know as soon as you hear the whole story, like, that doesn't sound great. You wouldn't want someone to plan a surprise party like that. Imagine. Your friends try to get you together, and they talking about you so much that one of your friends accidentally adds you, and it's like, well, he's right here. Doesn't that kind of ruin the entire party? No. So much around phones that people don't understand. There was one thing, I didn't understand this until recently. I didn't know that you don't know. You have no idea who you are to a woman until you know how you're saved in her phone. Guys, every man in here, we are not ready for the names, for the shorthand. You know how when you save a name, it goes first, last, company? They using that line too. We are not ready to find out how we are saved in the phone. Telling, that's what telling is. I wish I was wrong. I wish it was just me. I wish it was just me getting bullied in other women's phones. These are my friends. These are people I've known for years, and then they saved me some type of way and just never changed it. Years ago, this is why I first had a hunch. Years ago, I was with a friend, and we were hanging out. This has to be like 12, maybe even 15 years ago. We were hanging out, and she lost her phone. So she was like, can you call it for me? And so I call it. And look, we had never been romantic, you know? And we had decided a long time ago to just be friends, right? You know, and calling. I'm hearing a little. And then I find it in between the couch cushions, and my name saved in her phone was Nope. Guys, we're not ready. There's no world where we're ready for how we are saved. And okay, all right. Some of them are so accurate as well that it's like you'll never recover. Okay, I had a friend who, she was hooking up with this guy, and I guess it was a running joke between her and her friends. This is insane to me. This is insane. It's not my joke. This is what I saw. This is what I saw because I was being nosy, because I was like, I can't be the only one. I needed to not be the only one because Nope lasted. That stayed with me, okay? So I was like, let me see what other people are saying, right? And they say this one guy in her phone, and it just said, Little Hitler. And I was like, can you please explain why Little Hitler is calling you right now? Their reasoning for naming, their reasoning was he had kind of a comb over that was a little messy. I was like, hey, you went straight to Hitler? What's wrong with y'all? There was one time where I was out to lunch with a friend, and her phone was going off, and it was facing up, and I wasn't trying to be nosy this time. I felt vindicated. Nope, it's not Hitler. And so I was like, it could be worse. And so her phone was going off, and then finally she went ahead and flipped it. But when she flipped it, she showed it for a second, and I looked, and it said in the phone, saved in her phone as bed bugs. And so I was like, I I'm not trying to be in your business or anything. I'm not trying to. But I saw when you flipped it over because you had flipped it because I wasn't looking until you flipped it until it was like this, and I was like, what's that over there? And so I didn't see until you flipped it that you had him say, do you know who is bed bugs? And she was like, just this guy. I was like, does he have bed bugs? And no. He doesn't have bed bugs at his place. She called him bed bugs because she slept with him one time and can't get rid of him. And so when Walls is like, hey, sometimes people get added to the group chat under a different name, under a wrong name. Hadn't that ever happened to you? And then the nation was kind of like, no, I don't think it has. Not like that, not exactly, unless you have them saved different. You know what I mean? Unless you have this journalist saved as like War Buddy. I don't know why you would accidentally add him to the chat. It's one of the first major screw-ups of the administration where they themselves are actually like, uh-oh. Oh no. Look, we didn't add him by accident, because I don't know if you saw this, but we didn't add him by accident, okay? He hacked in. Yeah, this dude hacked in. They ran with it for a day and then it died. Because when you look at the journalist, I'm not trying to make fun of him, but he doesn't look like he really hacking like that. Like that. I know he got glasses, but not everybody with glasses hacks, all right? Jeez. And so now, you know, they've been ordered by a judge to provide all of these backdated Signal chats that they're definitely gonna delete. Like, when I heard that, I was like, oh, come on now. That's like in one of those sitcoms, and the woman asked the guy for his phone, and he's like, yeah, just give me 20 minutes. It's like, yeah, that's what they're gonna do. No, it's insane.